Success is not something to wait for, it's something to work for. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I've hired thousands of people over my 25-year career. I'm the author of the book, Think Like a Recruiter, Get That Job. And in the book, I've listed 20 questions that I think you should be prepared to answer for your next interview or your next meeting at work. Every day at work is an interview, to be honest. Today, we're going to talk about some preparation for the interview, discuss in depth 3 interview questions you might see at an interview. We will also discuss suggested approaches to take in answering those questions. If you don't already know, my name is Lisa, and I'm an HR director with a Master's of Information and over 25 years of experience working in human resources. Let's delve into it. The key to a good interview is, like most things in life, preparation is key. You must prepare for this like auditioning for a Broadway show or a movie performance. In my opinion, this is as important as the interview, and you should be spending 80% of your time researching and practicing. The practice and preparation are your opportunity to sell how you have the elusive ability to fit in the organization's culture while doing a bang-up job that will make them all look good within minutes of your arrival. Remember, it does not matter if it's a committee of people or one person conducting the interview. The fact that they're deciding to hire for the position means that they want to make sure they make a good pick because they want to look good to their boss and so on. In my book, I go into detail in terms of what that preparation looks like, and will not cover that in depth in this video. Now it's time for you to prepare for the 3 questions and practice role-playing by saying them out loud, improving your answer each time. The old saying is practice makes perfect, but no one expects you to be perfect, but they certainly expect you to be prepared. You may have heard these questions before in other interviews you have done. I feel these questions are different variations at different employers, and they're used quite a bit. The answers provided are what I feel employers are looking for in candidates. Normally, there is a mix of situational and behavioral questions during the interviews. Situational questions are what-if questions, and they want to see how you would respond in a given situation they present. Behavioral questions are looking for how you've handled yourself in the past, predicting how you will conduct yourself in the future. The first question is your opportunity to set the stage for the committee to showcase all of your knowledge, skills, and abilities that make you the perfect candidate to fill this job. The question is, walk us through your resume, paying particular attention to how your experience relates to the position you've applied to. So what do you say? It's true they have screened you using your resume, but they want to hear from you the connection between your experience and the job you're applying for with them. You do not need to list every job, but it's a good idea to start with the relevant ones in chronological order until you reach the last position or current one. If the job you're interviewing for asks for experience in management, for example, highlight those jobs and how you have progressively been moving up your career. You can touch on the facts like how many people reported to you, big projects you undertook, mentors that helped you along the way. Have a good reason why you're leaving your current employer to come to the new employer. If it is a promotion, explain you are looking to grow in your career. If it's a lateral move, explain what new skills and experience you hope to acquire in the move and how you have admired the organization for some time, if that's true. Once you tell them what you will gain, you need to explain what you will contribute to the organization with your knowledge, skills, and abilities. As I've said in other videos, do not say anything negative about your current or former employers. It just makes you look like a person that can't deal with difficult people and difficult situations. No one has totally negative experiences, and you can always list a few positive experiences you had in order to tailor the question. You want to showcase how this past experience will help you do this new job as well. If it was a difficult boss or colleague, talk about the strategies you use to improve the relationship or find a way to work collaboratively with them if the employer probes why you left the organization or want to leave the organization. Do not bring it up, but be ready to answer if they probe why you left the organization. This can be a lengthy question, so you need to write it out in advance and practice. A flowchart can assist you with some notes, and you can bring them to the interview. Most employers will let you bring notes to the interview. Now with everything virtual, you can have the notes on screen as you're talking to prompt you. Do not just read from your resume, tell them a story that is engaging about your work history. Connecting the current job posting to your history is a great way to connect to the interview committee. Think how impressed the interviewers will be that you took the time to really connect with the job, company, and the panel. You need to sell how closely linked your resume, your knowledge, skills, and abilities, match the job and letting everyone know you are here to work and bring value to all of them. For an artist, you want to talk about the mentors you have had and how your techniques have improved with each job, which in turn helped your company. I'll not list every job you might have done, but it gives you the pattern you could follow. Number 1 is experiences that match. 2, how these experiences predict you will do the same at their company. And number 3, say positive things about your coworkers and boss at your current or former employer if they're true. The boss is normally in the interview. No one wants to hear that you do not get along with the people and you hated your last boss. Think about what I said before. Past behavior predicts future behavior. Keep your answer concise and to the point. Do not talk for half an hour. I would really say no more than 5 to 7 minutes. I've heard other human resource people say some questions are traps, and I disagree. We want to hire you when we meet you. We've already spent a lot of time posting, screening, and setting up a time to organize our busy schedules to meet with you. It is your interview to lose, to be honest. Be thoughtful and careful in your answers. It is so important that I'm going to reiterate it again, making sure you have reviewed the job, done the comparison to your experience and qualifications, and be ready to speak to that piece. I'm noticing a trend where it's clear that people have not done their homework and are ill prepared for interviews. This behavior just wastes everyone's time and can frustrate the recruiter. Now, on to the second question. This next question seems silly to even ask, as everyone will provide only good feedback on themselves, right? The question is, what do you believe are your strengths and weaknesses? You'd be surprised how many times this question has stopped a hire. I once had someone say their weakness was being late. Now, if you were hiring someone, would you hire yourself after making that comment? Having a job 101 is being on time for work. In my video, 7 reasons people get fired and how to protect yourself now and in the future, poor attendance, which includes being late, will get you fired. Did you know if you're late and you leave at the normal time being paid for the full day, you could be accused of time theft? Do not do it. And certainly do not say this at an interview. There is so much in that answer that behavior screams. You do not value the customer, other staff, you are not organized, you are not fiscally responsible, and you do not care about the company's mission and values. I could go on. But that one small answer was not a trap. You need to be logical and think like the recruiter that needs to find the best candidate for the job. Would you hire someone that was habitually late? Unlikely. The answer is not to say anything that is overtly damaging. Sometimes we say areas to grow in rather than weaknesses. For strengths, stick to things you've already advised them that are good, such as you're a good listener, the accuracy of your work, your attention to detail, projects are on time and on budget, and you work well as a team. For weaknesses, do not list any confidential medical information. Do not talk about an inability to work with people. Do not say you have trouble coming to work on time, that you are wishy-washy and or you need to work on your attendance. I could list so many things not to say that I have to stop here. Think of weaknesses that you have grown out of or that can be considered a positive, such as your strong work ethic, and so you stay after to make sure that everything is done, like a perfectionist. Another one could be that in the past I would check my work over and over, but now as my skills have grown, I'm confident that I have a process for how my work gets done accurately and correctly. Less checks are necessary. Other comments could be an area of growth on your resume, but that you are taking a course or working with a mentor to improve those skills. Any problem you put forth must have a solution in progress. The third question is an opportunity to show how you have humility and are willing to learn from your mistakes. It also provides the prospective employer a glimpse of how you have dealt with situations with integrity and how you communicated to your manager and colleagues, being honest and forthright. The question is, can you tell us about a large mistake you made at work, what happened, and what you would do differently? First of all, please never say you were disciplined for whatever mistake you made. Yes, I've heard that before. This comment just amplifies the mistake. We all make mistakes, and this is your interview, so you can choose one that still can make you look like a great candidate. It makes you seem down to earth and shows integrity when you own up to your mistakes. Furthermore, it shows growth and maturity when you list how you fixed it and ensured it never happened again. Choose one that is in an area that you grew in and learned from the experience. For example, if it's an error with a customer order, explain how you made the error, figured out what the issue was, apologize to the customer, and put processes in place so that the mistake never happens again. And that you let your manager know and coworkers as well in a timely manner. That's important. The steps are A, the error, B, recognize and own up to it, C, apologize, D, correct it, and E, it never happens again. Thinking about what you would do differently shows that you are a critical thinker, and predicting that your behavior in future will be to analyze and stop prior to making similar mistakes. So write out what you would do differently in the scenario you will provide. Hindsight is always easier, so think about how it relates back to bringing value to the organization and the customer. In the other example, it might be that if I could do it over again, I would have cross-checked the orders more closely. Always remember what value your actions bring to the employer and the customer, so keep that mindset when answering the question. That is it for part 1 of the interview question series. So today we covered what I think are 3 important interview questions you need to be prepared to answer. I will be doing a series of these videos, 3 at a time, for a total of 20 questions that I think you might see at your next interview. Do not dismiss the value of preparing, as preparation is the key. Think of concrete answers with specific examples and solutions you've used. Write out your answers to practice by role-playing. You can practice with a friend or practice on your own out loud. You got this. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you got value out of this information, if you wouldn't mind giving the thumbs up for liking, and if you could hit the button to subscribe, it's free to do it and it really helps this channel. Thank you so much.